For those of you guys who are not familiar with Matan, Matan is a YouTuber. I think he's got over around like 1.2 million subs at this point. He's a YouTuber, only 18 years old, but he's kind of like a new Sacha Baron Cohen. He plays this character with a fake accent, but he's really, really funny. And he brings guests on essentially just to roast them and grill them. If you've seen some of his previous episodes, you know what I'm talking about. One of the most famous ones is, or one of the ones where I found out about him, is when he has George Santos on the show. Now, if you don't know who George Santos is, he is a disgraced congressman. He lied his way through the campaign, and then as a congressman, he stole money. He's just like a complete criminal, but he somehow made it into Congress and was expelled from Congress. He was like the 6th ever congressman to be expelled from Congress. And he actually just got sentenced to prison time. I think he's going to prison this month or next month for 7 years. When Matan had him on the show, or other guests like George Santos, he grills them. He lays into him. He pulls no punches, and it's amazing. So when I saw that Colby was going on the Matan show, I was very excited because I thought Matan was going to call him out for a lot of things, and it was going to be very interesting. To my disappointment, that's not what happened in this episode. I don't even recommend watching it in full, and I don't understand why. It was a very friendly and pretty much like boring interview overall. So I don't really recommend watching it. I was so excited when I saw it pop up on my feed, but yeah, I did watch through the whole thing, so you don't have to. But there was one interesting bit of information for us UFC and MMA fans about Colby Covington and his future that was shared on the show. So I'm going to play that real quick, and then we're going to talk about what I think is going to be next ultimately for Colby Covington. So check this out.
What's next for Colby Covington? A Hell in a Cell match against The Undertaker?
I think that would be a great match. I think that's a possibility to transfer over to the WWE since they're under the same umbrella with the UFC, under the TKO banner now. So it's a possibility.
Are you done in the UFC?
No, I'm not done in the UFC. I still have some unfinished business, but I want big fights, high level, first ballot Hall of Famer type fights, legacy fights. So if they're not able to do that, then I will transfer over.
Against who would you want to fight next?
I mean, I think the Paddy Pimblett fight's interesting. He's got a little bit of name right now, but only because he's got, an English accent and a bowl cut. Otherwise, the guy's just
You want to fight him because he's smaller. It's an easy fight.
No, he's actually bigger than me. He's a weight bully. Yeah, he cuts a lot of weight.
But he's like a taller guy and stuff.
He's like a taller guy, same height, a little bigger in girth.
Wouldn't you be more used to weighing more?
I would be a little bit used to weighing more because he's one weight class down, but he cuts more weight. So he's like a 200-pound guy cutting to 155, cutting 45 pounds,
And you cut weight as well or no?
Only like 10 pounds. I'm a 170 pounder. I cut like 10 pounds to get to 170.
So why don't you fight in like the 120 pound?
Okay. So anyways, then he gets silly with it. All right. So let's break it down. So a couple of interesting things. So Colby Covington claims that he's not done in the UFC, but what he wants are legacy fights. And then he did say, if you caught that, and you can rewind it if you missed it, but he did say, if the UFC can't do that, then yes, maybe I will go to WWE. It's under the same banner, TKO banner. Now we all knew that Colby Covington, with his shtick and the way that he writes down these different things to say at press conferences and whatnot, that he seemed to be setting himself up for a transition to the WWE. I mean, it was, people have been calling this like since 5 years ago. So that's not a major surprise. But I think what is interesting is he says, hey, he only wants these type of legacy fights. And if he doesn't get one, then he will transfer over, which means I'm thinking we might have one fight left in the UFC, possibly, and then he's out. That also means if he wants a legacy fight, he's obviously not fighting Ian Gary. He's not going to be fighting anybody like Joaquin Buckley, although that would be a good fight. Well, what am I saying? He already fought Joaquin Buckley. Oh, my God. Yeah, but like somebody like Joaquin Buckley. Okay, he did actually fight Joaquin Buckley at short notice. Props to Colby. But he's not going to be fighting an up-and-comer anytime soon. And that's unfortunate because I've been calling for the Ian Gary fight. But who is he calling out? I mean, we've heard in other videos he was calling out like Nate Diaz, people that aren't even in the UFC anymore. And then Paddy Pimblett, which is never going to happen. Paddy Pimblett is on his ascension right now in the lightweight division. He went in the I can't even believe he's saying this. I think this might have been filmed before the Ilya fight. But either way, Paddy Pimblett is on the cusp of getting a title shot. I think he's got one more fight. And the rumors are that he's going to be matched up against Gaethje. So why would he ever fight Colby Covington at this point? It's just not going to happen. Who else is he going to fight? Wonder Boy? Maybe Wonder Boy or something like that. But I actually think this means if this is solely what he's looking for, otherwise he's truly going to walk away and try and get into the WWE. I actually think this is the end of Colby Covington in the UFC. I don't think we're going to see him come back because who are they going to give him that's going to be an appealing fight? If you read between the lines, I think he wants a somewhat easy fight and a big payday, something where he can get as much name recognition as possible and go out and a win, which would make sense strategy-wise, so then he can have a big finale, retire, and then transition right in, because I think that added buzz will give him a better chance to get a nice position in the WWE. Maybe he's already had those conversations and maybe he's got a position secure for himself when he finally steps away from the UFC. I don't know. But either way, that's my take. I wanted to share this with you guys because I feel like a lot of people missed it. This video, I mean, it did get over 100,000 views, but that's on the lower side for Matan's channel. I'm not sure if a lot of UFC people watch Matan. So anyways, I wanted to show this, and I believe that this is it for Colby. I don't see who they're going to give him. He's calling out Paddy or like weird fights that just don't make any sense. So I can't think of any. There's nobody in the welterweight division. That division is so dangerous and so scary. If you look at the entire top 10, I just don't see anybody that he'd be willing to fight, especially given that this might be his final fight. So that's my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you guys agree? Do you guys think that Colby's out? Obviously, he's not going to get Paddy, or do you think, oh, maybe there's somebody else that makes sense for him at 170 that he could get? Let me know what you think. But that is my 2 cents. I think he's out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.